Well, good morning. Slow start to today because I'm waiting for those parts to come in for the combine. If you watched yesterday's video, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, it's a pretty good one. You should go back and check it out here. Anyway, the parts will be in at our John Deere dealer up in Jonesville at about noon, and so I'm going to plan on being there right about then. I got a couple other stops that I need to make, so I'll probably leave around 10:30 to get up there. It's just after 9 now. I came down to my seed warehouse here because I wanted to see all this seed that came in the other day. Remember, Dad unloaded that truck for me, and so I hadn't had a chance to just take a look at stuff, and I'm going to organize and just stack it in here nice so it doesn't take up quite so much room. I do have another seed truck coming tomorrow. That one's going to have beans on it, so good. We'll start getting stuff rolling in here and be ready for next spring. It would be nice to finish harvest this year, though. Oh well. Good news is it's not raining yet, so maybe we'll be able to do something later today. I don't know. We got to get that combine back together, and that's going to be a pretty major project, so we'll see how that goes and if it's raining by the time we get there or not. We definitely won't be able to finish corn today because even if we do get it back together and running, it'll probably be 3 or 4 o'clock, probably even later than that, before we would even be able to start. Yeah, so, but we could finish tomorrow maybe. We'll see. All right, that's much better. Now I got room to put the beans. Those boxes are all empty from wheat. They got to get returned yet. Okay, well, I've got 3 of the augers, or the 3 augers that we need, I guess. However, while I've been sitting here at the John Deere dealer waiting for these augers to get here, I talked to the mechanic and we were discussing stuff a little bit, trying to figure out what caused this to happen. And I'm pretty sure we have more problems than we realize. I kind of showed you how in yesterday there's that vertical auger that goes into the gearbox that turns and then attaches to this auger that we're replacing with the flighting that's bent over. Well, the mechanic up here thinks that the reason that flighting bent over is because the vertical auger, the splines between the auger and the gearbox, he said those wear out and eventually they'll skip or they'll jump, which causes the augers to be mistimed. And it was pretty clear when I looked at it that there was that nick on that vertical auger, meaning they hit. And if they hit because that auger is bad and the gearbox stripped or the spline stripped and it made it get out of time, we put a new auger in there and try and start it up, it's going to do the exact same thing over again, which is not good. We can't have that. So I got the gearbox because I'm pretty sure that's bad, but I'm also betting that that vertical auger is bad. They did not have one here because they sold it this morning, which is a bummer. Somebody else had this exact same problem. So they also couldn't get me that tube, that end piece of the tube with a hole in it. They just couldn't fit it on the truck to get it here. So that's coming tomorrow. They're gonna have that vertical auger tomorrow. We're gonna take this stuff back and go look at it and probably tear that housing apart to get that vertical auger out of there and look at it and see if we actually do need it. But as of right now, I'm pretty sure that's the problem. This is getting worse. All right, so I got down to Berkey here. We've got the augers unloaded. This is that gearbox that I was talking about. Yeah. All right, so I came back over to the field here because I wanted to look and show you guys a little bit more about what we got to do here. So remember up in there, there's a gearbox. In fact, I'm going to climb up there. Hold on. Okay, so after talking to my mechanic, we're pretty sure that that gearbox right there, it's basically what transmits the power from that auger that runs vertical and then makes the 90-degree turn to the one that goes out through this tube. What the mechanic says happens, or he thinks happened, is that the splines where that gearbox meets up with the auger, the vertical auger, have kind of sheared off or worn to the point where it was able to spin. And that caused the augers to be out of time, making the one down there hit this one right where that little nick is there, which bent it over and caused it to plug up, and that's our issue. So if we put a new one in there, even if we time it right, it will probably slip some more and cause us to have the same exact problem over again. So what we have to do is take that auger and that gearbox out. There's a pretty good chance that they won't come apart, simply because, well, they've spun the splines and it's probably wedged in there pretty good. So what that means we have to do is drop that auger out. The way that auger comes out is through the bottom here. Yeah, she's gonna be fun. How you do that is to call your local John Deere dealer and say, hey, come fix this. No, just kidding. You can do that, but they're going to charge me $100 an hour or more. So I think where we start is with these bolts. We kind of go all the way around and hold this big heavy cast piece in. And once we get that out of the way, the auger should, I thought that he said that it will stay in there, and then we have to remove, oh gosh, I don't know if we have to take this whole piece off, them screws or bolts way up high there, or what. We'll have to take some stuff apart and see what we're dealing with, I guess. It would be ideal if it would just drop right out there, but I don't know if it will. So, yeah, it's not going to be a fun one. We're going to have to take this piece off. That sprocket and all this stuff will come with it. Yeah, and we're going to lose all the grain, or at least most of the grain, out of the grain tank. We've drained a lot out here, but we got a lot more that's got to come out. Because, yeah. So tomorrow is not going to be fun. The plan right now, Dad is going to, he's got a meeting in Hillsdale or Jonesville tomorrow morning anyway, so he is going to go and get those parts when they come in around noon. I'm going to come down here in the morning and start working on tearing this apart so that we're ready when he gets here with the parts. Hopefully we can get it put back together tomorrow. I don't know how it's going to go. It would be really nice if we could work on this in a nice heated warm shop where it's dry and we don't have to fight the mud and we have the tools that we need. But we don't have any way to do that. One, we don't have a nice warm shop down here to Berkey. We could get it inside, but we can't get it down the road with the tank covers open. And we don't have any way to get the corn out unless we could just drain it all there, I guess, but we need the unloading auger, right? So, yeah, that's the plan for tomorrow. So you can see this corn right here and over there and out there to those houses across. That is what we've got left to finish. There's about 42 acres over in that corner place once we get past this house. That's kind of a separate field. And then I think there's about 20 acres, 18 acres or so left in these long rows where we were shelling yesterday when this happened. So we are about done. We're getting close. It's very frustrating that this happened right now. The parts bill for this little project is getting quite salty. For those 3 augers, the tube that's over there that goes on the end of the auger, that's got a hole in it, which is why we need to replace it. This vertical auger and that gearbox, we're over $8 grand already. That's not fun, but here's the reality of the situation, right? So I knew that there was a hole in that auger tube, which means after we got done with harvest here, 60 more acres, I was going to put this combine in the shop. I still am, but I would have taken that tube apart, replaced it because I knew it was bad. While having it apart, I would have realized, hey, these augers are worn out. We need to replace them. And so I would have done that. And then whether I would have caught the gearbox and that vertical auger, that's iffy. Maybe not. So maybe we would have run into this anyway. But most of these parts were going to get replaced this winter. The fact that we're doing it 60 acres before we finish just means it's a pain in the butt and doing it in the field rather than in the shop. It's not really something that's costing us a lot more than it would have otherwise. Just a little bit of time. So frustrating, yes. It's not the end of the world. You know, this combine is 6 years old. It's got a little over 2,000 engine hours on it. We've got, I want to say around 1,500 separator hours, maybe not quite. Doesn't sound like a lot, but you got to remember how many bushels we're pushing through this machine. This is the only combine we've run for those 6 years. And if you figure it's doing, say, 3,500 acres a year on average, times 6, that's a lot of acres, right? So we're pushing a lot of acres, a lot of bushels, a lot of material through this machine. Things are gonna wear out. I know there's a couple of other issues and things that I've got to pay some attention to this winter. Here, I'll show you one in just a second here. Things wear out, that's the reality of it. So this is the kind of the chopper, and you'll notice underneath this bottom plate, we've got holes worn in there. Those holes were not there when we started the year, but they are now. And That's got to get fixed. You can see it's holding some trash up and stuff there right now. It's only going to get worse. It's just the reality of the situation. Things wear out. There's so much material that runs through it that you have to do this maintenance. So I know I'm not accomplishing a whole lot today other than just getting some parts around and kind of looking. My goal here was to see what other tools that I need to bring down or what I can bring to make this job easier. An impact is the big one you see right now, just to zip these bolts out. But we're going to have to find a way to support this because I'm sure that piece is very heavy. It's cast. And a shovel to clean up all this corn. Other than that, I don't know what we're gonna do. We'll figure it out. So like I said, I know I'm not accomplishing a whole lot today. I'm not gonna work on this out here now in the wet and rain and everything else and without all the parts we need. So I'm heading back to Waldron. Actually, I'm heading to pick up my kids. My wife had an appointment she wanted to go to tonight if I could take care of the kids, and since I'm not doing anything here, I can go get them, and I'm going to do that. I do have a seed truck coming tonight about 6 or 6:30, so I'm going to get that unloaded. I'll show you a little bit of footage from there, and then we'll call it a day. We got some help unloading our boxes today. Can you say hi? Can you say hi? Hi.
The big one?
Yep, we'll put it on top of the big one. What's in that box?
What's in it?
What's in it?
Nothing.
Nothing? No, there's something in it. What's in it?
Sweet?
Nope, not wheat.
Corn.
Nope, those other ones had corn in them. What's in this one? It's not corn and it's not wheat. What is it? Soybeans.
Yeah.
It's what?
Soybeans.
Soybeans. Yeah.
Wait.
Okay, we got it way up there, didn't we?
Way big. The truck.
Gotta get them all out of the truck. We got one more we gotta get out of the truck.
It's crazy. My oldest is almost 11. I'll tell you what.
There he goes. Can you tell him bye-bye? Can you wave? Bye, truck. Okay, what should we do now? What should we do now?
Huh. Go in the truck?
No, we don't get to go in the truck. We're gonna go back to Grandma's, okay? Well, only 4 boxes in that load. I was hoping there'd be a lot more than that, but it's a start, I guess. So we've got a few beans, got a little bit more corn. It's a start. All right, well, I guess that's going to be the end of today's video. We'll get the rest of our parts that we need for the combine tomorrow. Dad's got a meeting up that way. He's going to go pick them up. So then I will head down to Berkey first thing in the morning. We'll start tearing that apart and we'll see how it goes. So have a good night. Click the like and subscribe buttons. Hope you guys are enjoying the videos. Sorry for dragging this project on a little bit longer than I thought it was going to, but I guess you'll have to check back tomorrow to see how we do getting it fixed. So there's a shop vac over there.
It's a little one.
Oh, can you say bye-bye to the camera? Tell everybody bye. Night-night.